What it is. It is yo girl Cadillac. Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the drama like prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all fades to black. Yeah, his your girl Cadillac. Anyways, I am coming through. It's about 11. It's actually 11:41 p.m. on December the 24th. Vlogmas day number 24. This is Christmas Eve. I wasn't going to do Christmas, but ended up at the last minute. I'm about to go wrap some gifts. Granddaughter's first Christmas. When I don't know. That's a whole different story. But last minute, like usual, end up going and buying gifts and stuff. But okay, anyways, that's not the point of this video. That will be the point of the next video. So guys, I do realize that y'all really only like me for my family vlogs, right? But the whole purpose of my channel is to try to put my immediate family back together. It is to try to get my husband home. My husband is wrongfully convicted and excessively sentenced in the state of Florida. Been there since he was 20 years old in 2002. That's how long he been in prison wrongfully. Okay, so what sparked this conversation? The whole purpose of my YouTube is to either one, break his story, or to two, get monetized, get enough money to be able to pay for the resources needed for his freedom. One of two ways I need to get him home, right? So I see from this channel, the only thing that people really enjoy is my family vlogs, but they don't really want to hear a lot about the situation that I go through as being a prison wife and also a single mother by force, not choice. Okay. Number one, the problem is most people do not believe that a wrongful conviction can even happen. So really, people see me, see my channel, hear my stories, and think I'm just telling wise tales and I'm just lying and such, and I'm just boo-boo the goddamn fool and crazy and need to move on with my life. Unfortunately, that is not really my story, and the truth about it is my story happens every day, and we're not just selling wolf tickets. So what made me want to make this video, and I'm sorry if it sounds staticky, that's because I tried to record in my car, that's not even working, and now I am sitting on an event that is closed, but even though it's closed, it's making all this racket. So I'm sorry, you're gonna hear the noise in the background. Anyways, I said all that to say that I walk in these shoes today, but it could be you tomorrow. And the thing is that if I don't clear the path for this to not continue, it will happen to somebody else. You ain't even got to worry about it. It's gonna happen to somebody else. Somebody else is gonna feel the pain that I feel every day, because not everybody, I'm sorry, leaves their loved one when they're wrongfully convicted. Some people actually stay by their side and try to fight. Some stay and try to fight and get weary and eventually leave. Some leave right away, but some stay the whole fight. And it takes everything out of them. They have their own lives to live that they cannot live because they're fighting an impossible injustice battle, right? So what sparked this is because there's this big debate going on, and I'm hearing all these videos about Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. Okay, it's a big debate. Half believe Meg's story, half believes Tory Lanez. If you watch my video from yesterday, I could try to link that in the description box. If you didn't, y'all know I don't know now one of them. I don't know now one of them, but I do know the law, and I do know this system for real. And as I was watching what happened to her, and well, the trial to her and him, and I was looking at the comments, it came to me, the revelation, which I already know this, but it just reinforced the revelation that most people don't really know the justice system at all. That is why it's so incredibly difficult for me to break my husband's story, because I would be breaking through centuries of biasness for you to believe my story. But my story happens every day. Like I said, the justice system is like a trap door, and you don't know what really happens in it until you fall through that trap door. So a discussion with my cousin, he was telling me, YouTube is probably not the place. YouTube's for entertainment. TikTok is probably where you can break this story. Me, I'm about on my last leg with trying to break this wrongful conviction story of my husband, because I have been fighting since it happened in 2002. It's not one day that I can even remember since 2002 that I have not been doing something to fight for my husband's freedom. And I'm weary and I'm tired. And I'm to the point where I realize justice is not going to happen for us, simply because most don't even care. But the thing was, I was watching this video, and it's from Night and Day Network. I love to watch Night and Day Network. Those are two of the Curry Gang. Oh, I love that intro. When you hear that, Curry Gang, Curry Gang, Curry Gang, Curry Gang, Curry Gang, Curry Gang, Curry Gang. Oh, I messed up. But when you hear that beat drop, that is hot. That is fire. But that was off topic. But anyways, when you hear that, Curry Gang, 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 Gang. Anyways, I was watching one of their videos, and they were talking about how they personally don't understand how they came to the guilty verdict after certain issues. So I'm going to play their video, and I'm going to respond to these certain questions, because people don't understand how this can happen, and I'm here to tell you how this happens. All right, so let's get to the video, and I'll get to my responses. Okay, so I'm also going to link the video that Night and Day did that I'm responding to. So I'm not sure if you can hear it. I hope you can, because I usually set up in my car where you can hear it through the car speaker, but that ain't working. But girl, I'm just trying to get it done. Anyways, let's get into it.
This brother about to get 20 years, man, for some shit he possibly didn't even do. Sorry, so he's guilt. The verdict said he was guilty.
So let's just start right there. The first opening sentence. This man could get 20 years for something that he possibly didn't do. That was his first statement, right? I think that was J.R. Curry that said that. Okay. And as I was commenting, I was on another YouTuber's chat commenting about the same topic yesterday, Willie D. And I was telling my story, how my husband's wrongfully convicted, and how I have been fighting for the last 21 plus years for his freedom. And basically saying, because somebody had said, oh, that's not the end. Y'all don't know y'all rights. You get an appeal. And I'm like, gosh, help the poor soul. He doesn't really know this system if he's saying that. Because the rights, okay, our rights are basically like an illusion. And this is what I keep saying. You have the illusion of rights. So that keeps you secure, because you think you have those rights. You think until you try to enact them. When you try to get an appeal, let me tell you, they don't have to grant you an appeal. They don't. You can file for one. And let me tell you what happened in my husband's case. He filed for an appeal, and he had grounds to file for an appeal. They clearly railroaded and bombarded him in every which way, violated his rights up and down, left and right. But what happened? They didn't even grant the appeal because the judge wrote back a note saying that he believes that the first verdict that they came to is true. They didn't even hear any, they wouldn't even grant an appeal. So automatically what you have is a situation where the higher courts automatically just agree with the lower courts. You may think you get an appeal, but baby, most times appeals are not even granted. They're not even granted. Then if granted, it's trial all over. You could lose that appeal and they can resentence you to more time than your original. I bet y'all that know y'all rights didn't know that, did you? So let's get back to this story.
Made us up look bad going on over there on Gail's show. That made it look bad. Once you go over there, you ain't credible. You ain't credible once you go over there and start talking to Gail. You know what I'm saying? So Tory Lanez, when they start talking to Gail, you know niggas about to go down. You about to go down. Somebody's about to go down. Yeah, exactly. We know that. Yeah, it's bitches over there, Gail Oprah, act like they ain't know Weinstein was doing this thing. But y'all bitches surprised.
Okay, hold on.
I think this is a funny story. I don't really think that could be your ass next. That could be your ass next.
And you ain't got no help if it's you. I bet you.
Once you start seeing people gravitating towards Gail and Oprah, then you know they just trying to take niggas out. They weaponize.
Okay. Trying to get past that Gail and Oprah part.
Them bitches are scallywags, and they work with Weinstein, and then they try to act like they didn't. They ain't to be trusted. So Megan Thee Stallion going on, she just made herself look bad going on over there on Gail's show.
Okay, here's the part.
That made it look bad. Once you go over there, you ain't credible. You ain't credible once you go over there and start talking to Gail.
Okay, here we go. Sorry.
You know what I'm saying? So Tory Lanez, when they start talking to Gail, you know niggas about to go down. You about to go down. Somebody's about to go down. Yeah, exactly. We know that. Yeah, them bitches over there, Gail Oprah.
I keep trying to get past this part.
They ain't know Weinstein was doing this thing. But y'all bitches surprised over there having threesome with the nigga.
The problem is...
So this brother about to get 20-something. This brother about to get 20 years, man, for some shit he possibly didn't even do. Sorry, so you know he...
Okay, that part. I'm sorry. I keep trying to fast forward and rewind through this video, but it is so long. If I move the scroll bar just a bit, it goes too far either way. But he said 20 years for something he possibly didn't do. And that's what I was talking about when I was in Willie D's chat. I get very stupid comments, which I disregard most of them because I know it's from poor babies that do not know the truth about our justice system. Okay, so the comment that I got was, yeah, because I said my husband is innocent and I have been fighting his wrongful conviction for the last 21 years. And they say, yeah, he probably did it. And that's the response I usually get. And I'm like, probably did it. Did what? Do you know any of the case? Do you know anything? All I mentioned was my husband is convicted, wrongfully convicted. Like, so probably did what? Did I say he's wrongfully convicted of jaywalking? Is he wrongfully convicted of what? You don't know anything. You don't know me from Adam. You don't know any of the story. I haven't told you any of the story. All I've said was my husband is wrongfully convicted. And your response is, yeah, he probably did it. And I'm like, probably. Usually I just screenshot those comments and I'm saving it for one of the videos where I want to review all my negative comments or whatever. But I started thinking about it, and I delete it and I never respond to it because I'm not going to respond to stupidity. It's not okay. I ain't gonna call the people stupid. It's just they're very naive, and they are, what is that word for just not knowing? You're not really stupid. You're just ignorant. Ignorant. That's very ignorant because you don't really know. So I thought of the word probably, and I'm like, probably. So they're okay with him being in prison for 40 years for something he probably did. On the basis of what? Did what? And on the basis of what? What is making it that you say he probably did it? Most likely because you see my avatar as a black face, which most likely I'm with a black man. And most people think black men are guilty. They probably did it. Most black men are out there robbing, killing, and stealing. So he probably did it. So, probably. That means if I said, if someone said, okay, here's this prison, and most people, if the warden said, this is the prison, and probably most of the people here are guilty, you would look at them like, huh? Or let's say this, somebody robbed your house and they tell you, well, we probably got the suspect. Would you take that probably? So you're locking him up on a probably. But do you know that juries think the same way that people in the comments think? They're made up of the same people, the same pool of people. So in the social media aspect, my husband Marchello has already been convicted before you even heard his story. Off rip, you're convicting him. He probably did it. And you know zero about him, the situation, or anything. And that's how the system actually starts out. Their jury knows nothing about you, but they come in with the contingent, with the already a notion that you probably did something.
And the verdict said he was guilty, and there wasn't no fingerprints and shit on his DNA wasn't on the gun.
That part, my husband, they have no fingerprints in his case. No weapon. Though they said he had a weapon, just hearsay, I can say he had a weapon, and that makes it a weapon. But they don't have it. They didn't produce a weapon. They didn't produce not one fingerprint of my husband, Marchello, and no DNA. Just as they're saying in Tory Lanez case. And my husband clearly did get convicted of 40 years. So it is possible. So JR is sounding like he's surprised that you can be convicted without evidence. But it can happen. You don't need evidence. All you need is a human to say you did it. That's all. That's all.
No fingerprints on the gun. No fingerprints on the bullet. You know what I'm saying?
They had nothing in Marcello's case. Nothing. You know what tangible evidence is? Tangible is something that you can touch or hold. This is my eye solution. This is tangible. I can hold this. They don't have nothing that you can touch that links my husband to this alleged crime. And I have to say alleged very loosely because the crime didn't happen at all. The whole crime they got him convicted on never happened. You know why he's convicted? Because someone said it happened. And there is no tangible proof needed to convict. It should be. And I bet you believe that's how our system works. But you don't know. It really doesn't work that way. You don't need tangible evidence to convict somebody. all you need is a mouth to say you did it.
I don't know how a nigga get convicted by some shit if the evidence ain't, you know what I'm saying, clearly showing that the nigga did it. Like, I don't get it. I don't see that's what
People thinking that you need evidence for a conviction.
we be talking about with this California shit, man. That's what we be talking about. Is this California shit?
Nah,
It's
baby,
that
Florida
court
just
system.
as bad. It's happening a lot of places.
Corrupt.
People just don't want to hear about it.
Somebody behind the scenes pulling strings. Now, the bullets disappear and his DNA ain't even on the gun. Somebody got some explaining to do. Like, yo, like where's the evidence?
And I got a whole video that I made proving that there couldn't have been a weapon in my husband's case. There's no way. Let me tell you, Marchello received a ride from somebody, a cousin, a family member, picked him up. Soon as Marchello gets in the car, the cousin picked him up by a stop sign. And he was so close to the stop sign that, okay, first I have to tell you, the cousin had passengers in the car. He had two guys in the car. They were in basically the hood. Marchello was a 19-year-old black boy. Okay. His cousin, the two other passengers in the car are white. His cousin is an African American male, but he is so pale that you never in your life would mistake him for an African American male. You would either think he was white or think he was Spanish or something of that, Italian or something. You would never suspect that he's black. So it really looks like it's three white guys and a black guy. Marchello is picked up on his way walking from the store, not even a block, maybe 2 blocks from the house that he was staying at. Cousin comes and picks him up and said, "Hey, cuz, you want to ride home?" Marchello says, "Sure." Jumps in the car, not knowing that was the rest of his life going down the drain at that point when he got in that car with his cousin. Marchello gets in the car, and because Marchello was picked up by that stop sign, the car, he turned in and made like a U-turn in the street to go back the direction towards the house after he picked Marchello up. Well, because he did it so close to the stop sign, he actually ran the stop sign. And as soon as he ran the stop sign, you hear whoop, whoop. The police were out. The police patrol black areas, black neighborhoods. They patrol them all day long. So the police seen the cousin do this U-turn, right? So the police puts his lights on and tries to pull the car over. Instead of the cousin pulling over, this would not be if that cousin had pulled the car over. He didn't pull over. The cousin floors the pedal on the car and speeds off. Marchello said, he's told me the story. He's like, "What the are you doing? What are you doing?" Now, he just got in a car literally seconds before someone is high speed chasing the police. Just his fucking luck. He gets in the car. The cousin evades the police, makes a block around. He knows this neighborhood. They all know this neighborhood. They know the ins and outs of this neighborhood. So this doesn't make sense to me. He makes a block around and leaves the car in a dead end cul-de-sac. Now this the catcher. He stops the car in the dead-end cul-de-sac, and he does next what Marchello says is the unthinkable. He jumps out the car and runs and leaves his cousin in the car. Marchello is in shock, don't even get out the car, don't know what's going on. His cousin gone. His cousin that gave him his ride, he gone. This happened within not even a minute to 2 minutes time span. Sorry, I just had an interruption. So he is in shock. And I actually illustrated, made a music. I thought I was going to break this story through music. I made a song. I illustrated it. I put it together in video format as a music video. I can link that in the description box. But all of a sudden, you just receive, you're taking a ride home, and then all of a sudden you're evading the police. So his cousin jumps out the car and runs, leaves him there with two guys, and the police come up. The police come up to the car. Marcello's like, I don't even know what the hell that just was. And they're like, you stop, get on the ground now. They got all their guns pulled out on him. And one false move, that's it. Marchello was arrested right in that cul-de-sac. Outside of the cul-de-sac was a railroad track. And then the police car came around to corner the car, because you couldn't drive through the cul-de-sac, but you could walk across the railroad track, and there was a road in front of it. So if you go and check out the video that's in the link where I'm proving there was no weapon in my husband's case, you can actually see that cul-de-sac. So the cop is on the road. Then there's the railroad track. Then there's the cul-de-sac where the stopped car was. Marchello was right there. So you mean to tell me if he had a weapon and you arrested him right there where the stopped vehicle is, you searched this vehicle everywhere, how in the entire world could you have not found a weapon if in fact there was a weapon? There's no possible way you wouldn't have been able to recover it. But you know how the police explained that away? Easy, with a lie. A lie can make that explained away. They lied and said that Marchello ran football fields away from the car. And they arrested him football fields away and brought him back. That gives enough time, room, and distance to discard of a weapon. But in all actuality, if you read the reports, if you read the transcript, anything, Marchello was arrested right where that car was. And it even says in the transcript where the person was caught saying, well, then there's no way he could have ran football fields. Well, the police said he ran football fields, and they addressed the police saying, well, there's no way, officer, that he ran football fields if he was arrested right with the car. So caught in lies. They were caught in lies back and forth, back and forth. But they never recovered a weapon, which there's no possible way that they couldn't have. If there was one, there's no way. But without even recovering it, the judge still allowed them to charge him with it because they said it was present. So now it's a hearsay gun. You can be charged with a hearsay gun. All someone has to do is say, you had it. They can tell, I could have a butter knife and they could have said it was a machete. And baby, you better believe it was a machete.
When you going through some shit like this, you gotta have the evidence. Like,
no, they don't. They should.
The witnesses barely even testified correctly.
Oh, and we talking about witnesses, baby. How about I do a part two? Because we just scratching the surface of this. Because there's a whole segment on witnesses and eyewitnesses and how they honestly lead to a lot of wrongful convictions. Eyewitnesses lead to wrongful convictions. So I'm going to stop here because this is quite difficult. I'm going to try to do it in my car. It's much easier when I'm sitting in the car and you're able to hear it through the loudspeaker. Girl, let me tell you, it basically, every time I pause it, it restarts the video. And Isaiah Curry and JR Curry get so many views that every time I play it again, it plays an ad. I'm going back and forth trying to pause this phone, trying to pause that phone. So it's doing too much. It's doing way too much, girl. But I hope at least I gave you a little bit of insight on how injustice really does happen. And make no mistake, wrongful conviction makes you think that it's a mistake. They're not making a mistake. They're actually wrongfully convicting people on purpose. It's a purposeful mistake. All right, guys. I'm finna get back to rapping. Not my rapping, my wrapping paper rapping. Got my plaid wrapping paper. And I'm about to do a project. I'll keep y'all up to date with what I'm going to do with that. I had this brilliant idea about how to wrap these gifts, and I'll let y'all see that. Anyways, I'm going to bed. It's your girl Cadillac.